She says she's backing out of the contract, but that's only half the story. What she's really doing is stepping into a bizarre legal persona, sometimes called a straw man, and arguing that the actual property owner unknowingly gave up their legal rights. It's a sleight of hand rooted in pseudo-legal theories and obscure treaties that most people haven't heard of since history class. Her objective? To stay on the property without paying a cent? It sounds confusing because it is, and if any of this rings a bell, chances are you've seen some sovereign citizen content floating around your feed, too.
All right, the court will call the case of the Ranches of Rosebrook versus A Nice Battle, case number 25C-1245.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Fanter on behalf of the plaintiff.
Ms. Battle, please hit *6. Unmute your device and state.
Hello? Hello?
Please state.
It's a niece battle on a special appearance for the record to contest the jurisdiction and the facts before this court.
Yep. All right. Well, Ms. Battle, I'll tell you that this matter is appropriately in the correct court. The court does have jurisdiction.
And it's based on what? What is on the record that is based on that the court has jurisdiction?
The fact that this is a case that is within the jurisdiction of the Township of Ypsilanti, and if you have issues related to any contracts, that would be within this jurisdiction as well. So all of that is within the jurisdiction of this court.
So you're saying that the contract is in jurisdiction of the court?
That is what I just said, ma'am.
All right, and the contract has been rescinded. So how is the contract in the jurisdiction of the court if it's invalid?
Who gets to rescind a contract on their own? That's
what are you talking about? I have the right to rescind a contract by right of common law.
Ms. Battle,
that doesn't involve court.
Ma'am, you need to stop talking or you're going to get held in contempt of court. Mr. Fantier, have you had a chance to talk to Ms. Battle? I talked to Ms.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Mr. Fantera, do you need to speak with her, or are we ready to speak?
If you want me to speak to her, I'll speak to her. I mean, she talks about rescinding the contract. Does that mean she's moving?
Let's be clear, this isn't a legal loophole. It's plain old fraud dressed up in complicated language. It's like signing a rental agreement knowing full well you're never going to pay. This tactic isn't new in sovereign circles. Squat in a house, dodge the rent, and drown the system in procedural delays. Sure, they get evicted eventually, but not before stretching every inch of the legal timeline, hoping something will stick. It's not clever. It's calculated abuse of the system.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Are you moving out?
Are you moving out?
No. Why would I have to move out?
Because if you rescind a contract, okay, fine. Your Honor, I think let's set this for trial.
Okay. One moment.
This case has also been in it's in the circuit court. A petition filed for an injunction. I did serve you all. It is set on the 30th.
Yes, ma'am. I heard.
We're aware.
Okay. And once again, I do not submit to the jurisdiction of the court. The contract is rescinded.
So how can the contract?
And I am not a legal person.
You're not a legal person?
How can a contract? No, I'm not a legal person. I'm not a legal entity. No, I am not. And you have to prove that on the record.
Actually, I don't.
I'm sorry.
Can I ask Ms. Battle a question, Your Honor, real quick?
Sure.
So, Ms. Battle, so you can live there forever without paying rent because you're not a legal person?
That's not what I'm saying, but the contract itself is invalid. I'm saying that you don't have any personal or subject matter jurisdiction over me. Over an invalid contract, no. And over me not having a legal capacity to be sued, yes. So if that's how you want to take it, then that's how you have to take it. But that's what's lawful, and that's what's written in the law.
Let me just tell you, I think you're wrong on both counts. I would expect that we would.
It's okay for you to think that I'm wrong, but the facts still align with what I'm saying.
Okay, Your Honor, I think we should have a trial.
So your main witnesses are your mom, dad, and aunt. Are they here to vouch for your legal arguments, or just tell the court you mean well? Because frankly, that's the only way this strategy makes any sense if we chalk it up to a childhood misunderstanding that somehow grew into courtroom theatrics. Emotional support is great, but it won't turn fiction into fact.
Michigan versus Shane Leroy Reamer. file number 23-21665FH. This is the date and time set for a final pretrial conference. Today was the motion deadline for both motions and motion in limines to be heard. Jury instructions were to be provided to the court by April 2nd, along with any proposed voir dire questions. We are set for trial on April 22nd of 2025. Mr. Raymer, you are charged with police officer resisting and obstructing causing injury, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison. Police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing, that carries up to 2 years in prison. There's 2 of those. And then there's a disorderly. And what is the plea offer in this file?
Your Honor, the people have offered to a plea of 2 counts to attempted R&O.
All right.
So 2 misdemeanors, and we would kill a brute to no upfront jail.
All right. Mr. Raymer, the plea offer in this case was to plead to 2 one-year misdemeanors with no upfront jail, and there'd be like 12 months or so of probation, some minimal fines and costs. Do you understand that? All right. Now, Mr. Raymer, you know, I'm assuming you graduated from high school, right?
8th grade.
You went through 8th grade, and this is a felony that could result in you going to prison. Why don't you stand in front of that podium for me? So do you understand an attorney can help guide you through the legal process?
Yes, I tried to have, I almost had a public defender. Unfortunately, she wasn't representing me appropriately. I'd asked for another one, but.
So I have no authority over who gets appointed. You're appointed an attorney.
I understand that, but when they're not representing you appropriately.
Okay, I didn't ask that. I'm just saying you have a right to an attorney. I know the attorney you're referring to. She's diligent. She works hard. Maybe you didn't like, I know when I was a public defender, sometimes my clients didn't like what listen to me, I'm talking. My clients didn't like the things that I told them. But, you know, her job isn't to do what you want. Her job is to represent the law. So you understand at this point, you can hire an attorney, or you can go with the public defender and whoever they assign you, or you can go to trial pro per with no law degree, no experience, and risk going to prison. You're going to represent yourself.
I'm going to represent I ain't got no choice but.
It's no surprise sovereign citizens think attorneys are part of some giant conspiracy. It's the same thinking that drives people to believe the earth is flat, or that the moon landing was staged. Rejecting reality is easier than admitting they might have bought into the wrong narrative. His court date's just around the corner, but before we get to that, we've got 2 more cases on the docket worth your attention.
Your questions, because if you haven't, they're waived.
If there's
No, they were due.
If there's evidence provided against me, I have a right to defend myself using that very same evidence.
That wasn't the question I asked you.
That's
you do have a right to defend yourself, Mr. Raymer. I'm just
my right for violence.
I'm talking, you're not. If you don't stop talking and listen to me so I can go through my speech, I will send you over to the jail. Do you understand? All right. You have not filed any motions. Jury instructions were due and voir dire questions were due. You have not provided those. We gave you a copy of this. So do you understand what I've received is what will be used? Yes or no?
I will be allowed to ask my questions.
What question?
When I'm cross-examining, I will get my.
I'm talking about juror question. I'm talking about jury instructions and voir dire questions. You understand now? You didn't file, listen, I know, but you waived that because you have not provided them. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Understand that. I didn't understand that.
Okay. Well, I can't advise you of the law because I'm not an attorney. I'm a judge.
No, but you're looking at the case, and you've been presiding over my case for 3 years now.
I know. It's fine. You're going to go to trial.
You're the one that signed the warrant for my arrest while I was in jail.
I don't know that. I don't remember.
Yes, you did do that.
Okay. I'm allowed to do that.
No, you violated my rights.
Okay. Well, you have options. You can file a complaint with the JTC if you'd like. So are you prepared to go to trial?
Absolutely.
Have you provided your witness list?
I haven't yet, but I will.
Okay, that was due.
My witness list was provided when Ms. Underwood was my attorney.
Okay.
And my witness list is.
Have you subpoenaed any witnesses that were not on the prosecutor's raised just eyewitness list?
Yes, my witnesses are the ones that was there at the scene.
No.
And, yes.
Do you understand that you have to provide a witness list and you have to provide a copy to the prosecutor? Do you understand that?
Prosecutor, I gotta provide what to him?
So if you're gonna have witnesses at trial, you need to make sure the prosecutor has their name and contact information so that they could interview them prior to trial if they wanted. Do you understand that?
Well, they got all that information.
They do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
My witnesses are my parents.
You sure about that? because these folks already have trouble sticking to basic facts, especially after zigzagging around Crystal Lane like it's a legal maze. It's not a question of direction, it's a question of whether they're even on the same map as the rest of us.
If they're not on the people's witness, okay, if you haven't provided a witness list and they're not on the people's list, you understand you won't be able to call them.
Okay, I will provide the information. I
Okay.
will provide that information.
I'm just telling you. So you need to make sure that there's a witness list in the file that was provided to the people.
So I gotta re-provide it.
I don't know. Go back and look at what witness list has been filed,
filed.
their name, their contact information, and then any subpoenas you have to do. If you have to subpoena anybody to be present, you need to get those filed this week. And then the court signs them, and then you serve those people with those. Do you understand? Now, do you understand when we go to trial, a lot of times some of the questions you ask or he asks may be objected to, and it's not personal, it's just, we have to follow the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm allowed to object to though, right?
Huh?
I'm allowed to object to.
You are, and then you have to provide the basis for that objection. Okay, so you need to understand your objections. So you might want to do some research to understand.
I've been doing.
Good. You sure you don't want a public defender for trial?
Huh?
You sure you don't want an attorney for trial?
I'm not gonna take any other term.
I am Brian. My family name is Wilkinson.
All right. We'll go on the record in State of Kansas versus Brian J. Wilkinson. Case number 25 CR 67. The state appears by County Attorney Darren DeVinny. Mr. Wilkinson appears in person by Zoom. We're here for a first appearance. Mr. Wilkinson, you're appearing by a summons. I'm going to go over your charges with you. There are 3 counts, all alleged to have occurred on June 4th, 2024 in Butler County, Kansas. Count 1 alleges you were in unlawful possession of methamphetamine. That is a level 5 drug felony. Count 2 alleges you are in unlawful possession of paraphernalia for use. That is a Class B non-person misdemeanor. Count 3 is an allegation of possession of marijuana, also a Class B non-person misdemeanor. Do you understand what you've been charged with, Mr. Wilkinson?
I do not understand, Your Honor.
Yeah, what don't you understand?
I had thought that this matter was already settled on the case that Mr. Watts was representing me for.
Okay, I'm not aware of that particular matter. That may have been a different case. I'm not sure.
Well, there wasn't a different case. I mean, I wasn't attacked and assaulted and kidnapped 2 different times. Just one time.
Mr. DeVinny, do you know anything about another case involving Mr. Wilkinson?
Let's see. Well, I know there's criminal history. I know he's a B on the grid. He has out of at least Butler County cases, we've got a driving while suspended, an old a 23 traffic case that's closed. And then he has this open case now for possession of methamphetamine.
Do you know of, is there one where Mr. Watts representing that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of. Well, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I don't know, Mr. Wilkinson. That can be sorted out. Can you afford to hire an attorney to represent?
Let's get something straight. A public defender isn't there to validate your conspiracy theory. They're there to defend your actual legal rights. They're sworn officers of the court, tasked with following the law, filing legitimate motions, and avoiding tactics that could jeopardize their license. So when a sovereign citizen complains that their lawyer works for the court, what they're really saying is, my lawyer refused to tank their career over some nonsense about flags and secret maritime codes.
Don't you?
I'm sui juris.
Excuse me?
I'm sui juris, and I would appreciate it, Your Honor, if you would recite your oath of office, your delegation of authority order, and your bond information?
I'm not going to do that, Mr. Wilkinson. Can you afford to hire an attorney?
I am not a ward of the court. I'm not an idiot. I know how to speak for myself.
Okay. Do you wish to represent yourself?
Well, I am myself. I can't represent myself, but yes, I will be talking for myself.
All right. You understand you have a right to have an attorney represent you on this case?
Yeah, but that makes me a ward of the court if I am seen as too stupid to talk for myself.
Do you understand that if you can't afford an attorney to represent you, one would be appointed for you?
I also understand that all attorneys' first duty is for the court and not for their clients. So
do you understand you have that right, Mr. Wilkinson?
I do understand my rights, yes,
okay.
Your Honor.
I'm going to go ahead and appoint James Watts to represent you if you think that he's represented you on something that may be in line with this case. So he'll be with you when you appear back in front of me, and that'll be on my preliminary hearing control docket. Do you have something to write with, Mr.
Yes,
Wilkinson?
sir.
All right. Your court date will be in front of me by Zoom on May the 19th at 2:30.
May 19th, 2:30 p.m.
That's correct. Do you have Mr. Watts' contact information?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
You might contact his office and let them know that court date. We need to set a bond. Mr. Devaney, what's your recommendation for bond?
The defendant does appear here voluntarily by summons here today, so I'd request a $10,000 OR bond for the defendant.
What was the amount?
$10,000.
All right, I'll set a $10,000 OR bond. He'll need to be processed, I'm assuming.
Well, he initially had a first appearance back on June 5th of 24 at 1:30. At that point, we were waiting on KBI Labs and we released him. So I believe he's actually been arrested and processed.
Okay.
He just needs to come to 201 West Pine. If he can make it here today before 5, that's great. If not, probably on Monday to come up to the front desk so he can sign his bond.
All right. Mr. Wilkinson, can you make it up to the Judicial Center this afternoon to sign your OR bond?
It'll probably need to be Monday, Your Honor.
Honor, my Christian name is Jose and my family name is Elizondo. I'm the bailiff today and respectfully ask some issues to raise.
Wait, Mr. Elizondo, wait. Jose Elizondo, I show that you have one case pending and that is expired registration. Do you understand that's the charge that is pending against you?
Yes, I understand, but respectfully.
Okay, sir. Okay, hang on. There's several steps we need to take over. Were you able to hear my explanation about defendant's rights and options that I went over at the start of court?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about those rights or options?
Yes.
And that's a wrap for today's docket. With more court dates coming up, don't expect the sovereign citizen antics to slow down anytime soon. If you liked the breakdown, tap the like button. If not, go ahead and hit dislike we can handle it. Either way, drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss what's next in this legal circus.